Schembechler and Jim Brandstetter.
29 Northwestern 6 as the Wolverines get back on the winning ways, and we'll have highlights of that one. We'll also have a feature on the difficulty of traveling at home, and we'll also have Gopher scouting report. But first, let's talk a little bit about Michigan Northwestern. Kind of a sluggish game. Boy, the first half it looked like Michigan was flat. Did you feel that or sense that?
No, what I saw was that Northwestern was playing an outstanding game, particularly defensively. I think they ganged up on us real well. I think they thought we weren't going to pass an awful lot.
They were right.
And they were right. I got to admit they were right. And made it very, very difficult for us. Really, to tell you the truth, the two things that impressed me were the Northwestern defense, which had given up a lot of yardage, Jim, and a lot of points. Played extremely well against us, and this Greenfield's a pain in the neck to defense.
The Northwestern quarterback.
Yes, he is. He's a dancing, throwing jitterbug that makes you look bad.
One of the things about this game, though, is defensively you made a few changes. Put Mark Messner at times as a linebacker.
Well, actually, he was playing on the outside. You can see him rushing here and sacking the quarterback. Mark played an outstanding game. I thought our defense played well, Jim. They had 13 hits behind the line of scrimmage. Messner had 6 of them himself. We didn't move very well the first half. As you know, here's Jamie Morris on a sweep that was successful, but basically speaking, we didn't do a good job moving the ball.
And that play was right at the end of the first quarter, and it was scoreless at the end of the first quarter, and now we're in the second quarter.
Yes, this is a 3rd down and 1, and we get the ball down into the 2-yard line. Jim, this is 1st down on the 2. Now, we run a play in which we pitch behind Tracy Williams, and he picks the ball up for a 5-yard loss, takes us out of a touchdown, forces us to kick a field goal in this possession, and here we are in the second period, and we're only leading 3-0.
You've got to be disappointed with the fact that on a couple of occasions you've been inside the 5, haven't been able to score.
That's right, and we always stop ourselves. We're beautiful at doing that. We stop ourselves, and that's what really hurts. The thing about here, Jim, the defense, you can see our defense pursuing well and doing a good job against the Northwestern offense. Really, they threatened only once on a long drive and scored in the second half. I thought they did a good job. But every once in a while we get a play like this where we hit in there for 6, 8, 7 yards, but we weren't consistent at all. This is a quarterback draw with Michael Taylor carrying the ball, doing an excellent job all the way down to the 25-yard line.
And with Michael Taylor in for Demetrius Brown, you knew you were going to run the option a little bit more on the ground attack.
I think so. I think he's an excellent option quarterback, rushed for a lot of yardage. But your passing game, we didn't do as good a job there. Here we got stopped again. Theoretically, if you got a good option attack and you get down inside the 10-yard line, you ought to score. And we just didn't do a good job all afternoon on that, and that's the reason that we didn't score a lot of points.
Defensively, you continue to make big plays, which I think has got to be positive for you after, all the injuries you've had defensively.
Well, our defense up front's playing extremely well, and they're the ones that are making the big plays. Linebacking is still spotty. There's no question about that. This is Colasar on a return. It gets us good field position just before the half, down to the 15-yard line.
And really, one of the first big plays all season your special teams has made.
Right. Well, our special teams have not been bad, Jim, other than the Indiana game, which cost us the game. But our special teams have played pretty well. We haven't always had Colasar to return the punts, and that's hurt some. But here on the option, Taylor takes it in for the touchdown. We went for 2 and didn't get it. And so we end up going in at halftime ahead, 12-0.
At half, going in 12-0, you had to be, I don't want to say discouraged because you had the lead, but you had to be concerned with the fact that you were able to get in close but not score.
No, that's true. I mean, we squander scoring opportunities, and we really didn't have a consistent running attack, although we broke some plays. We just couldn't move the ball effectively, and of course, passing-wise, we're almost nil.
For official stats, it was 1 of 5 for 3 yards to
Yeah,
the
you
Wolverines.
had to bring that up, didn't you?
I was going to bring it up later.
I was hoping we would forget
Well, I
about
thought we'd throw that out early. We'll
stats.
talk about it later in detail, all right? Don't go away. The second half running attack was a little better, and that's next when Michigan Replay continues.
I'm just glad that the coaches gave me a chance, and our whole team blocked well. Our offensive line, our backs ran through the holes well, and I was just happy just to get my chance. I can't really say how much it means to me right now. We started going to a lot more option, and fortunately the holes were opening up because the offensive line blocked well. And when I did get a chance to run, the backs were getting good holes, and we just kept the drives going. And that helped us a whole lot as far as getting down the field. All of us are teammates, and we joined together, just for one big cause, and that's because we want to win. And as long as we can go back up there and get the jug back, I think we'll all be happy.
Right from the snap, I grabbed the boot and I just stayed upfield and stayed on top of the pulling guard and, threw him for a loss. I think we played real well, considering the type of offense they had. They had a couple big plays, but offense like that, we'll get a couple of big ones. But, like I said, we had them in some long yardage plays, and I think we did a good job.
Dave Fulkertsma up front on defense, the up front people playing very well for Michigan. And when did you decide to make the moves and move Messner outside and on occasion play him in a two-point stance at an outside backer spot?
Well, actually, we've done that for the last few weeks, Jim, ever since our linebacker core was so critically hurt. And the strength of our defense was up front, and we had a surplus of people there and felt that rather than play a three-man front, we ought to go to the four-man front because you have an athlete like Mark Messner that could play both inside and outside. Against
a team like Northwestern that's sticky offensively because of what Greenfield can do, what does that defense do for you?
Well, what it does is give you strength inside and probably take a little pressure off of our linebacking, which is, as you know, very young. That was an option play by Greenfield.
And that's just a great play.
Well, he pitched the ball while he was horizontal position. That was an excellent play by him. They moved the ball rather. In fact, here's Messner making another play, and he was lined up at that particular time on the outside, and he's tough to block out there. He really is. We get the football back and go to the option play and give the ball to Bunch, the big fullback, and he's bleeding some yardage in there, which you have to do. Get 4, 5, 6 yards. That's good. Come back, and we're all diving on the fullback, and now the quarterback keeps the ball and goes outside for a big gain.
And that's one of the things people don't realize about wishbone football is you've got to give the fullback to football.
You've got to have a little patience. You've got to have patience to 3- and 4-yard them, Here we stall again, Jim, which is discouraging, and have to kick another field goal. Well, that's 3 times. Now, we were down in there to score and failed to score. That is not good.
You got to work on that. I mean, that's something.
Well, I would hope we could do a better job in 4-down territory. When I say 4 down, I mean we've got 4 opportunities to get a first down. And we ought to be better than that.
Here's a fumble that the referees didn't call. That was
yes, that was a marginal call there. Could have been construed as a fumble. I don't know whether he was down and that ball came loose or not. Here's a 3rd and 1 situation, and Taylor breaks off here. The reason it ends up in a big play, Jim, is because the defense is playing for the short yardage play. And when you fake into the line and they all dive in there, there are a couple backs back there, but they may not be able to handle a quarterback breaking into the clear.
They were playing almost goal line the whole game, though, too, defensively.
I would say that that's about as close to a goal line as you're going to get out on the field. But the goal line will stop a lot of plays, but as you know, gave up some very, very big plays. And that's why you can't play that defense. It's not sound to do it over a long period of time.
Here's Greenfield being sticky again.
Sticky. I mean, we missed tackles on him, and I really, I'm not so sure it isn't his ability. He's a very, very fine scrambling guy. Here he runs the option, gives the ball when we didn't do a good job with our assignment on the fullback.
They catch you in some blitzes, too, in this drive.
Well, that's what really hurt this play here. 3rd and 2. My own judgment is we should not have been blitzing, but we blitzed. And when you blitz and sink them in there and they get a hole off tackle there, they break it outside and you're in deep trouble. So they sneak in for the touchdown. Now that drive was an excellent drive by Northwestern, but it was really their only successful drive of the day.
And then you come back and get
We come right back on a draw play. They were doubling the receivers on both sides, Jim, which means there's no safety man in the middle. And it's a matter of pursuit angles and whether they have enough speed to cut Jamie off coming up the middle. And in this case, they didn't because he was running quite fast.
He was running quite fast. I asked Jamie afterwards, he says, yeah, I had to get the guys off my back because they were saying I didn't have much speed. So he showed some speed there.
Right.
Last week, you made news on this program by really ripping your own team a
I didn't
little
rip
bit.
my team. I don't know where everybody got that impression that I ripped my team. If you don't want me to be honest, just say you don't want me to be honest.
No, that was
That
wonderful.
is not a rip of my team.
No, but you made some comments that were uncharacteristic. Let me put it that way. Would you agree with that?
Well, you mean that because of that poor second-half performance in Indiana. I said that we were not a very good team at that time. And we're a little better team now, but we're still not a powerhouse.
I was going to say, you're still not totally satisfied.
No, not yet.
And what are the things that concern you most, other than obviously what we've talked about now, is getting inside
I think
and scoring when you have 4 down territory?
Two things. One, I think we have to improve our line blocking. Two, you cannot function on a run alone. You've got to have a passing attack. And the third thing would be we must improve our inside linebacking on defense because we'll meet some running attacks that are going to require better performances there.
Speaking about running attacks, that wouldn't possibly be Minnesota this coming week, would it?
Yeah, and they got the jug up there, Jim. They're holding the jug out there on us, and we got to go up there and get it.
Well, before we get to Minnesota, let's talk about travel plans. Travel plans when Michigan's at home. Yes, there are those things. We'll be right back. Stay with us. That's next when Michigan Replay continues.
And a lot of points. Played extremely well against us. And this Greenfield's a pain in the neck to defense.
The Northwestern quarterback.
Yes, he is. He's a dancing, throwing jitterbug that makes...
Schembechler and Jim Brandstetter.
29 Northwestern 6 as the Wolverines get back on the winning ways, and we'll have highlights of that one. We'll also have a feature on the difficulty of traveling at home, and we'll also have Gopher scouting report. But first, let's talk a little bit about Michigan Northwestern. Kind of a sluggish game. Boy, the first half it looked like Michigan was flat. Did you feel that or sense that?
No, what I saw was that Northwestern was playing an outstanding game, particularly defensively. I think they ganged up on us real well. I think they thought we weren't going to pass an awful lot.
They were right.
And they were right. I got to admit they were right. And made it very, very difficult for us. Really, to tell you the truth, the two things that impressed me were the Northwestern defense, which had given up a lot of yardage, Jim.